Hi, this is the Hotbox, telling you that this video might have some sensitive stuff in it, so take a second if you need to and go check out something else. Otherwise, please enjoy the show. This channel is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Click the link, please. I need to buy bread.
Everything's fine, got some merch in the store. It's hot, it's burning, it's trending, I'm buying. Everything's fine, got some merch in the store. I miss that outside where somebody can save me. What's it gonna do with all that stuff? You can wear it or burn it or give it to your dog. Everything is fine, got some merch in the store. It's hot, it's burning, it's trending, I'm buying.
2021 is trying to set a record or something, because I've seen 2 bad apology videos come out in the same week, and there's only so much of this that the world can put up with. Personally, I don't know about you, but I'd like to see bad apology videos age poorly. I want people to improve, but my desire for that shouldn't prevent me from calling out the things that they've done, or in this case, the things that they don't truly take responsibility for. When an apology video, of all things, comes off as emotionless, yeah, you've got a problem. So let's sit back, you and me. Let's remember our safe words that I'll throw up on screen right now. We have rope and dice. And let's you and me talk about this David Dobrik apology. Because this thing, I can't believe I'm using the same joke 2 videos in a row. It's not good. Welcome back to the channel, new and returning, young and old. Fans, haters, animators, artists, everyone in between. You're all welcome here. And if you do happen to be new here, why not subscribe and click the bell too? It's quick, it's easy, just takes a second, and you can always undo it, but it really does help out the channel a lot, so thank you. But if you are new here, you might not know who David Dobrik really is. David is one of those fascinating specimens that transferred from Vine to YouTube when the app Vine ended up shutting down. We've covered a little bit of David's history on the Hotbox, as well as the things that are being brought against him. So I'll use this section to recap you a little bit. David used the cover of one of these pranks to make his heterosexual male friend Seth kiss another man under the guise that he was kissing a different girl. It's using a Hollywood-style production to force someone into doing something that they don't want to do. Oh, David, your phone's ringing. I think it's the Me Too movement.
Tana's 18, and he like tried to kiss her, and Tana's like, I didn't want it. Why did you do it? The cameras weren't on. And everyone's like, well, she was legal, she was an adult, but she's clearly saying she was uncomfortable, didn't want it. He's 44, she's 18.
She just recently went on a date. They were in a dressing room. I don't know why they were in a dressing room together, but Jason was getting changed, and Jason thought that there was a spark in the air.
Why would she come in the dressing room with me?
It was not being dressing room. We were doing
Tana, why would you come into my dressing room?
And then this is the best part. Jason leans in for a kiss.
You're not giving all the information.
Oh yeah, you're
to
right.
Your
You're right. Tana's 19 years old.
You know I'm like taken though, right?
Sure, whatever. But would you ever with Jason and Trisha?
Make the joke he did. I don't want to have a Tana.
Guys, chill. This is the stupidest fight ever. She doesn't like Tana jokes. Drop it.
So did you actually get mad in this moment, or is this just part of the gag?
Oh my god, we had so many fights over this.
So give me some insight.
Actual thing where we told him like this is not funny, like, and they didn't make it for a while.
You
Like,
said
that's
do
when he
not
started-
include this.
So he did this for months, and this is like the final time when we really blew up, and I'm like, don't do those jokes. He stopped until he needed to get me out of the vlog squad. So this is my thing. He tried to start kicking me out of the vlog squad. We're not filming with Trish. I would go over, and he's like, Trish, you stay in the car. Like, he used to film with me every single day, and I get it. Okay, fine, distance yourself from me. Like, whatever. I'm problematic. But what was so crazy is he knew this week before my blow up, that's when he started doing the Tana. He invited Tana over to the house to have sex with Tana. He released footage that Jason never wanted in the vlog, where Jason said privately to him at like a party, if you can get Tana to have sex with me, like I'll buy you a Ferrari, because that was like David's dream car.
Get Tana to have a 3-way with me and Trisha. I'll buy you a Ferrari. I'll do anything. You can't run to Trisha with this piece of video and be like, Jason said.
So both you and Jason are saying, David, don't put this in the vlog.
Yeah.
And he does.
I still remember, it was like 2 a.m. He calls Jason, like, can I put this? And I'm like, no. And then Jason's like, no, don't. And then he did. And then he did it again, a second time that week. And I lost my...
Ugh. You're laughing about bargaining a 3-way for a Ferrari. I'm sorry. What in the privilege? How do you think this is reasonable? Newsflash, just because you click record doesn't mean you can play God.
So then everybody else just got the notion like, oh, okay, like, you know, we can disrespect Big Nick too. Like, it's because our master does it. You know, that was kind of like the whole vibe.
Finally, I can make fun of something that you weren't born with. Oh my god, I don't know why this is so adorable. Why have we never thought of this before?
It's cute.
You said, yo, I don't want you to make fun of my height anymore. And he's like, okay, well, there's no point of having you in the vlogs then, right?
That was kind of the
that doesn't seem very
that I got.
Yeah, you know, like we just have this scene, you know, like I want you to like make out with Corinna. And I was just like, yeah, no, I'm fine with making out with Corinna. Like, that's fine. I don't understand exactly what this bit's for, but I'm just trying to basically just get it over with. And then, you know, during the video, we kind of start the makeout, starts going, and then it's going on for a decent period of time. And then after Jason pulls off his mask, and I realized that, you know, I just was touched by someone that, you know, I did not, you know, consent to.
Do I have permission to try to prank you again and get you to make out with Jason?
I'm very confused by that, because how the hell could you be so confident to tell me that I have to consent to something that I'm not going to know that I'm going to do?
He fosters a toxic environment that paints itself as squeaky clean to anyone who doesn't care to look too deep.
It's probably the best prank I've ever pulled on anyone, in my opinion.
Don't call it sharing your truth if you're sharing a lie. Seth accused David and Jason of for a kissing prank that was done in 2017. Text messages and found one of Seth's numbers asking him to do the kissing prank a third time.
Guys, this is a text from Seth from about 2 years ago. He goes, yo bro, I was thinking about it. I'm down for another kissing sketch.
He's providing evidence that's weak at best. These texts are about a third prank, not the first or the second. And you'll notice Seth says he's more open-minded, quote unquote.
I don't know, more open-minded.
Seth stating that he's more open-minded implies him being resistant before. David Dobrik, at worst, violated consent. At best, I say that like there's anything good in this. David Dobrik, at best, promoted content that endorsed actions that violate and manipulate people we call friends. And that brings us to today, where the situation has evolved even further. For starters, a big article from Business Insider came out that details the story of the vlog squad dicing a poor girl after she was already under the influence, all for a plot line in their vlog. And if you're a human being with any amount of heart, you might be thinking, well, wait, a non-consensual three-way doesn't really sound like something that belongs in a comedy vlog. And congrats, you're right. But that didn't stop David and his friend, Dom. The article is behind a paywall, but it's also helpful in understanding how deep this situation goes. When this article released, David's attorney said that he'll be addressing his community directly. This comes as a surprise to no one, because we all figured it would take a lawyer to get David to actually say something. He goes on to say that David prioritizes consent, and that whenever consent is retracted, posts are removed. To David's credit, that has happened occasionally in the past. But it's a little deeper than that. First of all, he's also ignored requests from Trisha explicitly to remove posts. So it seems he's pretty pick and choose with his morals. Not just that, I don't see how an individual who never consented in the first place could retract consent. David, the statement feels like moral grandstanding. Like no matter how you dance around it, you still did the act in the first place. And if you're not directly saying sorry for that fact, you're just making excuses. Hannah, the name given to the victim in this instance, said she was pressured by Dom repeatedly in really disgusting ways. Like, listen to this, he blocked her with his body. He pressured her with things like, no, you at least have to give me a kiss, while she's cut off in an entirely different part of the house from her friends. And then my man pulls the, why don't you like me? Why won't you date me? Like, I don't know, maybe women and just people in general have autonomy over their own decisions and don't deserve to be guilt-tripped, especially from your filthy mouth, and yes, filthy, because any mouth that would do something like this or say these kinds of things is disgusting. And this is far from made up. David even addressed this on a podcast.
Yeah, my buddy Dom made an Instagram story, and he's like, I want to have some tonight, hit me up. And this girl hit him up, and she's like, I have friends, and she sent over all her friends' Instagram links. But when they all got there, they were like, oh, no, I don't have sex. And then like blatantly in front of everybody. So we just ended up havhaving a threesome, which was still his first three. It was very exciting for him. So well, you guys sent like 3 of your friends in to confirm it was happening. Yeah, I mean, you know, he didn't have them unless we saw it with our own eyes.
We saw it with our own eyes.
Now, aside from the fact that David's story is contradicted by the messages that were sent later, clearly showing that she was in no state to consent, the way David talks about this is hideous. He's talking about walking in on his friend committing rope like it's a trip to the zoo. Like, David, what were you gonna do? Throw peanuts at them? David, what you're doing amounts to giving grass to an elephant because you're feeding the situation. David, you just think, I can do whatever I want because I got all these people watching, and if they all love it, no one's gonna say anything. Well, I'm here. think again. It's also interesting to note that any footage of this gets blocked by Collab DRM on copyright grounds, which is why I've warped and manipulated my footage so far. Collab DRM is anything but spotless, and the fact that they're implicated in this is alarming to say the least. And now, in the face of this, in the face of what him and his friends did to this girl, what they did to Seth, and what they did to who knows how many people, David finally spoke up. For a whole 2.5 minutes. Oh, and did I mention that he turned the like and dislike ratio off as well as the comments? But the whole title of the video is Let's Talk. Nah, David, cause this is more like you saying, you listen. You're not letting anyone, even your fans, talk back to you. So that's already alarming. Not to mention the fact that David also posted this on his second channel, which gets significantly less views. And again, you would think if David wanted to apologize for anything, he'd make a big video about it. Because the way people were proclaiming David's innocence, I think people were expecting an hour-long video with receipts and excuses or apologies or anything but this. So let's get right into it, shall we?
Hey guys, it's David. I want to come on here real quick and address some conversations that have been going on the internet. I've made over 600 videos, and I've made a bunch of TikToks, Vines, Instagram stories, tweets, the whole thing. And I'm obsessed with what I do. I love being able to make people happy for a living, and that's all that I want to do.
Okay, pause, rewind, because I know this footage will be sped up and shifted in post. But the timestamp for this point in the video is about 30 seconds in. This video is about a fifth of the way over, and David is just stroking himself. Hey guys, it's David. As you know, I'm a rich and famous YouTuber. Look at my Nickelodeon award for the cyberbullying and all that. I feel so bad. Oh yeah, David, I really bet you're suffering while you're making more money than most people will see in their entire life. If you're making an apology, a sorry belongs first and foremost. But no, David still seems keen on fighting this. Listen to his language. He calls this conversations. Again, he doesn't choose to acknowledge when things are right in front of him, because otherwise his defense crumbles and he's wrong. And that won't do for him or his Dobrik dollars.
That being said, consent is something that's super, super important to me. Whether I'm shooting with a friend or shooting with a stranger, I always make sure that whatever the video I'm putting out, I have the approval from that person. And I also acknowledge that there's times where a person can change their mind and they decide that they no longer want to be associated, they no longer want to be in the video that I'm putting up, and then I'll take the video down. And there's also been moments where I've looked back on videos and I realize that these don't represent me anymore and they're hurtful to other people, and I don't want them up because I've grown, as a content creator and as a person, and I don't agree with some of the videos I've posted.
It's probably the best prank I've ever pulled on anyone, in my opinion.
Dom just had a dumb, and I think we're all going to jail. Oh man. I think we're all going to jail. All right.
Ah yes, because we really want to get lectured by David about consent, right? Because he really listened well when Trisha was there that night trying to stop him. He listened really well when he was editing and uploading that video and raking in the ad dollars. Yeah, I'm sorry, but with the way this guy talks, he listens to the clicks and the cash. In David's world, money talks. He's frequently pressured people with money. I mean, just look at what he did to Seth. David is no stranger to taking advantage of people, and I don't feel like he should be the one speaking about it when he trivialized people's consent for pranks, quote unquote.
With the Seth situation, I'm sorry to Seth, because like I said, I just want to make videos.
I'm gonna pause in case you missed it. That was all of it that he's gonna say about Seth. And the fact that this man spends less than 10 seconds entirely even mentioning Seth's name, and then shifts right to, oh, but I'm doing what I love, and this is important to me, so I promise I'll fix it. You're not fixing it by refusing to acknowledge it all the way. You don't say it straight what you did to Seth. Say his name, say what you did. In this apology video, we get about as many sorries as you can count on one hand. David, your lack of self-awareness is a slap in the face to anyone who is hurt by you. And I'm gonna take a second to also speak to anyone in my audience who's a victim of their consent being violated or any kind of similar act. I want you to know the fact that you're here right now is something that you should be endlessly proud of. You wake up every day, you stay strong, and you face it. I love you. I think that you should love that strength and nurture it. You'll make it through this. You're doing great, and most importantly, you're worth it.
Where everybody in it, whether you're participating or watching, is enjoying and having a good time. And I missed the mark with that one, and I'm really sorry. I truly, truly am. And with people in my life that I don't film with anymore, like Dom and the other people that I no longer film with, I chose to distance myself because
I don't align with some of the actions, and I don't stand for any kind of misconduct, and I've been really disappointed by some of my friends.
David, you are sick. Imagine a person that had rope committed against them, people that you violated. You're looking them in the face and saying, "Oopsie, I missed the mark." It's so incredibly childish. This feels like a little kid being forced to apologize to an older brother. You're trying to sell me so hard that you're sorry, when me and a lot of other people sincerely feel like you're not getting the lesson that's trying to be taught to you. You can say sorry all you want, but if you don't learn, it's pointless. David, you were really disappointed in your friends when y'all were laughing on the podcast about this. David, you can be disappointed, but you condoned this behavior. This is disgusting. And then you think 2 minutes is enough responsibility for you? Like, this is shorter than your short vlogs, quote unquote. This is just embarrassing, dude. David, you were there that night. You organized all of this. You had people come to your defense, stake their reputation on this, and yet here you are. So weird.
With any video I make, my main purpose is to make people happy and inspire people, and I never want anything to get in the way of that. And I'm sorry if I've let you down, and things like that won't happen again. And I learned from my mistakes, and I also believe that actions speak a lot louder than words. And, you know, you can take my word for it that I'm going to change, but I'll also show you and I'll prove to you that, you know, the mistakes I made before won't be happening again. But yeah, that's it. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you later.
David, you say that you learn from your mistakes, but what worries me is that you didn't see these things as mistakes until this point. You didn't think in your head that any of this was questionable, even when it was all in front of you, up until this point. And that's the problem. It shouldn't take being called out for a person to realize something like this, at least, is wrong. That's something that anyone with a little common sense and respect will understand. And David, you are displaying none of that. Although some of you will be happy to know that even though David's trying to run from this, he's still losing subs rapidly, which is good, but not enough. You want my 2 cents? You have all the evidence. Based off of what I think of it, David really has no business on this platform. He's had so much time to learn and consider the things he's done. If it's taken him this long, it's not very promising for the future. David needs to take responsibility, and these victims need justice. And until we get either of those things, it doesn't look good. I want people to be better. Let's hope that happens in the future. In the meantime, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and share the video around. Help these voices be heard. Whenever you're watching this, I hope you have a good rest of your day and an even better tomorrow. I love you. And before you say it back, look in the mirror and say it to yourself. I will see you in the next episode of whatever I make. And until then, this has been the Hotbox. Bye.